Have you ever asked yourself a question that sounds simple, but quietly shakes the whole heart? What does a truly fulfilled life look like? Most people answer quickly. A loving family, a strong career, enough money, good health, a long life, respect, comfort. And yes, these things can be beautiful. But if you have lived long enough, you have already seen a gentle truth. No one holds everything at the same time. Even when you gain one blessing, another area may become fragile. Even when life is generous in one season, it may be strict in another. Even when your hands are full, something still slips through. So the mind becomes anxious. If I cannot have it all, will I ever feel complete? If I lose something, does that mean my life is broken? If my life is not perfect, does that mean I failed? The Buddha's teaching offers a different definition of fulfillment. Not a life with no loss. Not a life with perfect conditions. Not a life where everything goes your way. But a mind that is not enslaved by conditions. A heart that can receive without clinging. A heart that can lose without collapsing. A life where you keep planting wholesome seeds while holding outcomes lightly. This is the fulfillment the Buddha points to. And if you are tired of chasing an image of a perfect life, this Dharma talk is for you. Now, dear friends, welcome to Buddha Peaceful Mind. May this teaching be like a deep breath for your soul. May it soften the fear of not having enough. May it strengthen the courage to let go. And may it guide you toward a quiet, steady completeness that does not depend on constant success. Let us begin where the Buddha always begins, with truth. The Buddha taught that everything conditioned is impermanent. Bodies change, relationships change, fortune changes, status changes, plans change. Even your thoughts and emotions change. If you build your happiness on what changes, the mind will always be anxious. Because it knows, deep down, it cannot control life forever. So the first step toward a fulfilled life is not getting more. It is seeing clearly, seeing impermanence. This is not a dark teaching. It is a compassionate teaching. Because once you accept impermanence, you stop demanding life to be something it cannot be. You stop asking the river to be a stone. You stop asking youth to last forever. You stop asking love to have no risk. You stop asking success to have no shadow. And because you stop demanding, you begin to breathe. Many people think fulfillment means holding everything. But the Buddha taught that clinging is suffering. When you cling to pleasure, you fear its end. When you cling to success, you fear failure. When you cling to people, you fear separation. When you cling to youth, you fear aging. When you cling to control, you fear uncertainty. So the mind becomes tense even inside blessings. This is why many people have everything and still feel restless, because they have not learned to hold life with a light grip. So the Buddha's fulfillment begins with letting go. Not letting go of love, not letting go of responsibility, not letting go of effort, letting go of clinging, letting go of the inner demand that life must always stay the way you want. Now we must be careful. Letting go does not mean giving up. It does not mean becoming passive. It does not mean becoming cold. The Buddha taught right effort. You still plant good seeds. You still work. You still care. You still build. You still protect what matters. But you do not worship results. You do not attach your worth to outcomes. You do not build your identity on applause. You do what is wholesome, and you accept that life will change. This is the middle way, between forcing and giving up, between craving and numbness, between clinging and indifference. Now let us bring in the Buddha's map of suffering and freedom, the Four Noble Truths. There is suffering. There is a cause of suffering. There is an end of suffering. There is a path. Many people misunderstand the first truth and think Buddhism is pessimistic. But the Buddha was not pessimistic. He was honest. He was like a doctor. A doctor cannot heal without naming the illness. So the Buddha named the illness: clinging, craving, ignorance, and then he offered the cure, the path. So a fulfilled life, in the Buddha's view, is a life where suffering is reduced because the mind is trained. Now, what does this look like in ordinary life? It looks like receiving blessings with gratitude, not entitlement. It looks like losing something with sadness, but not with bitterness. It looks like making effort, but not with desperation. It looks like living a meaningful life, not a performative life. It looks like being human without hating being human. Now here is a truth that can bring relief. You do not need to have everything to be fulfilled, because fulfillment is not collecting. Fulfillment is releasing. When the mind stops clinging, even simple life feels rich. When the mind keeps clinging, even abundance feels empty. So the Buddha does not promise you a perfect life. He promises you a free mind. And a free mind is the deepest form of wealth. Now let us tell a story. A man spent 20 years chasing success. He believed fulfillment was a high title, a big house, and admiration. He worked constantly. He sacrificed sleep. He sacrificed relationships. He said, "I will rest when I arrive." He arrived. He got the title. He bought the house. He became respected. And one night, sitting alone in his beautiful living room, he felt a strange emptiness. He thought, "Why do I still feel hungry?" Then life changed quickly. His health weakened. His energy dropped. He could not work the same way. The world moved on. New faces came. New stars rose. He felt fear. Not only fear of sickness, fear of losing identity. He felt he was losing himself. Then he met a teacher who asked him one question: "Who are you without your achievements?" At first, the man felt angry. Then he felt quiet. He realized he had built identity, not fulfillment. So he began to practice. He simplified his life. He learned to breathe. He repaired relationships. He practiced generosity. He learned contentment. His life became smaller on the outside, but larger on the inside. The lesson is simple. Fulfillment is not being full of things. It is being full of peace. Now, another story. A woman wanted a perfect family. She believed fulfillment meant a husband who never disappointed her and children who never caused pain. But life is life. Her husband made mistakes. Her children struggled. She became bitter. Then she heard a teaching about expectation. Expectation is a hidden form of clinging. When you demand that people never change, you suffer. When you demand that love never hurts, you suffer. When you demand that your child never fails, you suffer. When you demand that your spouse always understands you, you suffer. So she practiced a new way. She lowered her expectations and raised her presence. She stopped trying to control everyone's emotions. She focused on her own speech, her own patience, her own kindness. Her home became warmer, not because life became perfect, but because her mind became wiser. The lesson is that fulfillment is not controlling life. Fulfillment is meeting life with love and clarity. Now let us speak about the truth that no one gets everything. Many people feel sad when they realize this. They say, so life is unfair, so life is incomplete, so happiness is impossible. But the Buddha would say, life is not a vending machine. Life is causes and conditions, and each life has different conditions. Some have health, but not money. Some have money, but not peace. Some have love, but not long life. Some have long life, but loneliness. Some have talent, but not discipline. Some have discipline, but not opportunity. Some have opportunity, but not courage. If you chase a perfect picture, you will suffer. If you measure your life against someone else's conditions, you will suffer. But if you learn to value what is here and practice wisely with what is here, you can be fulfilled. Because fulfillment is not an arrangement of perfect circumstances. Fulfillment is a trained relationship with circumstances. This is why the Buddha emphasized wisdom. Wisdom does not mean you always feel good. Wisdom means you see clearly and act skillfully. Now, there is a teaching that many people recognize only after years of struggle. The 8 worldly winds: gain and loss, praise and blame, fame and disgrace, pleasure and pain. These winds blow on everyone. When gain comes, we lift up. When loss comes, we collapse. When praise comes, we inflate. When blame comes, we burn. When fame comes, we become addicted. When disgrace comes, we feel ashamed. When pleasure comes, we chase. When pain comes, we panic. A fulfilled life is a life where these winds no longer control your heart. Not because winds stop. Winds will continue, but you become like a mountain. Silent, steady, present. This steadiness is called equanimity. Equanimity is not coldness, it is balance. It is the ability to love and still not be thrown around. Now, imagine 2 people receiving praise. One person becomes addicted. They need more. They need applause. They become anxious. They become defensive. Another person receives praise and smiles. Thank you. I am grateful. Then they return to their work. Which person is closer to fulfillment? The second, because their peace is not rented from other people's words. Now imagine 2 people facing loss. One person collapses into identity. I am ruined. My life is over. They lose not only the thing, but also their dignity. Another person feels sadness, yes. They grieve. They breathe. They ask, what is the next wise step? They begin again. Which person is closer to fulfillment? The second, because they can lose and still be whole. Now, let us speak about the practice that makes this possible. Mindfulness. Mindfulness is not only sitting in meditation. Mindfulness is remembering the present, remembering what you are doing, remembering what matters. A mindful person notices when the wind is rising. They notice pride. They notice fear. They notice resentment. They notice craving. And because they notice early, they can choose. This choice is freedom. Now, take a slow breath. Feel the breath enter. Feel the breath leave. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Fulfillment is the ability to return. Return to breath. Return to values. Return to kindness. Return to truth. Return to the present. Again and again. Now, the Buddha also taught something that strengthens fulfillment. Right view. Right view means you understand karma. Karma means actions have consequences, not as punishment, as cause and effect. If you speak harshly every day, the heart becomes harsh. If you lie often, the heart becomes fearful. If you act greedily, the heart becomes restless. If you act kindly, the heart becomes warm. If you practice generosity, the heart becomes open. If you practice mindfulness, the heart becomes clear. So a fulfilled life is built. It is not handed to you as a reward. It is built through causes. This is good news, because it means you are not powerless. Even if you cannot control everything outside, you can plant seeds inside. Now let us talk about one of the most praised qualities by the Buddha: contentment. Contentment is not giving up on improvement. Contentment is the end of inner torture. A content mind can still grow, but it grows with peace. Contentment says, I have enough to practice. I have enough to be grateful. I have enough to take one step. And because contentment is here, greed becomes smaller. Comparison becomes smaller. Jealousy becomes smaller. Now, another key is gratitude. Gratitude turns what you have into enough. Without gratitude, even abundance feels empty. With gratitude, even simple life feels rich. So practice gratitude daily, not as a performance, as a training. Each night, name 3 blessings: a breath, a meal, a friend, a roof, a moment of calm, a safe bed, a body that carried you through the day. This practice changes the heart. Now, we must speak about one of the deepest teachings of the Buddha: not self. The Buddha taught that what we call I is a changing process. Body, feelings, perceptions, mental formations, consciousness, these are changing streams. If you build fulfillment on a fixed identity, you suffer. Because identity changes anyway. You cannot keep the same body forever. You cannot keep the same role forever. You cannot keep the same reputation forever. But if you see that you are a process, you become flexible. You can lose a role and still be okay. You can lose a season and still be okay. You can lose a status and still be okay. Because you are not your role. You are not your achievements. You are not your failures. You are awareness, practice, and the choices you make now. This is deep freedom. Now, let us bring in a story. An old man lost his job after many years. He felt useless. He felt ashamed. He said, I am nothing now. His granddaughter asked him, Are you only your job? The old man cried because he realized he still had kindness. He still had wisdom. He still had love. He began to volunteer. He began to teach younger people. He began to care for neighbors. His fulfillment returned. The lesson is that the self we cling to is often too small. Fulfillment comes when we see beyond it. Now, let us speak about a story that many people remember for its tenderness. A grieving mother once came to the Buddha after losing her child. She was drowning in pain and demanded a cure that could erase death. The Buddha did not shame her grief. He did not deny her love. He guided her to see a universal truth, that every home has known loss, that impermanence touches everyone, that she was not alone in suffering. This did not remove her love. It did not remove her tears, but it widened her heart. It turned isolated despair into shared humanity. And in that widening, she found a path. The lesson is important. Fulfillment does not mean you never face loss. Fulfillment means when loss comes, you do not become isolated inside it. You remember the truth. You remember connection. You remember the path. Now let us talk about fulfillment as wholeness. Wholeness does not mean everything is pleasant. Wholeness means you stop rejecting parts of life. You stop rejecting sadness. You stop rejecting aging. You stop rejecting uncertainty. You stop rejecting loss. You allow them, and you learn. This is why the Buddha's path is about acceptance. Acceptance is not surrender to harm. Acceptance is not staying in abuse. Acceptance is not pretending pain is nice. Acceptance is seeing what is true without fighting it inside. Then you choose wise action. This is the middle way again. Now, how do you let go without becoming cold? The Buddha taught the 4 divine emotions: loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, equanimity. These make letting go warm. Loving kindness means you wish well. Compassion means you care about suffering. Sympathetic joy means you rejoice for others. Equanimity means you stay balanced in change. When these 4 are in the heart, letting go becomes gentle. You can love without ownership. You can be close without clinging. You can celebrate without arrogance. You can grieve without bitterness. This is true fulfillment. Now, let us bring this into daily life. A fulfilled life in the Buddha's view looks like this. You live ethically. You speak truthfully. You act kindly. You earn honestly. You reduce harm. You increase mindfulness. You increase wisdom. You practice generosity. You practice patience. You practice forgiveness. You practice repair. These are not decorations. They are the foundation of peace. And peace is the deepest wealth. Now you might ask, what about goals? What about ambition? The Buddha did not teach that you should have no goals. He taught that you should not cling. Set direction, make effort, but hold outcomes lightly. Here is a simple formula that keeps the heart clean. Intention, effort, acceptance. Intention chooses what matters. Effort plants the seed. Acceptance releases the obsession with results. This is balanced living. Now, let us tell a story about ambition. A young woman wanted to build a business. She worked hard, but she became desperate. She measured her worth by numbers. When numbers were high, she felt proud. When numbers were low, she felt worthless. She was living on the 8 worldly winds. So she began practicing equanimity. She made a new goal. I will do honest work. I will serve customers. I will improve 1% each day. I will not let numbers decide my worth. Her business became steadier. Her mind became steadier. The lesson is that fulfillment is not a number. It is a relationship with reality. Now we return to impermanence, because impermanence is the key that unlocks fulfillment. Impermanence teaches you to love now, to appreciate now, to practice now, and not postpone your peace. Many people say, when I succeed, I will be calm. When I retire, I will be calm. When my children grow up, I will be calm. But the Buddha would ask, can you be calm today? Because if you cannot be calm now, more conditions may not fix it. Training fixes it. So practice now, even 10 minutes, even one breath, even one kind sentence. Now, we will offer a short guided practice for fulfillment. Take one slow breath. Feel the ground of the present. Now ask yourself quietly, what am I chasing that I believe will make me complete? Name one thing. Now ask, if I had it, would my mind stop clinging? Or would it cling to the next thing? Be honest. Now ask a third question. What would make me feel complete today, even without changing my life? Often the answer is simple. A deep breath, a kind word, a slower pace, a moment with family, a walk, a prayer, a clean conscience, a phone put down, a meal eaten slowly, a sincere apology. These are fulfillment seeds. Now here is a powerful practice. The practice of enough. For one day, practice saying inwardly, this is enough. Not meaning you stop living, meaning you stop fighting. This breath is enough. This meal is enough. This moment is enough. See what happens. Often the nervous system relaxes. This relaxation is peace. Now, let us speak about the biggest thief of fulfillment: comparison. Comparison says, my life should be like theirs. The Buddha taught that comparison is delusion, because conditions are different. So practice sympathetic joy. When others succeed, say, may they be well, and may I be patient. Then return to your own path, because envy does not water your seed. Envy only dries your soil. Now, let us talk about relationships again. Many people think fulfillment is being loved by everyone. But the Buddha taught that the world is full of change and perception. You cannot control everyone's view. So instead of trying to control how everyone sees you, focus on integrity. If you live with integrity, you can be fulfilled even when misunderstood. This is a strong heart. Now, we must also speak about service. A fulfilled life is not only about reducing your own suffering, it is also about reducing suffering for others. The Buddha's compassion is wide. When you help others, you feel meaning. Meaning is a form of fulfillment. So practice service, small service. Hold a door. Listen without interrupting. Give a little. Donate. Mentor. Serve your parents. Care for children. Help a neighbor. These acts create inner richness. Now, if this talk is helping your heart, you can gently support Buddha Peaceful Mind by subscribing or leaving a like. Not to chase numbers, but to help these teachings reach more people who are quietly hungry for peace. Now, we will go deeper into the fear that quietly lives under many lives. The fear of loss. Fear of loss prevents fulfillment because it turns blessings into anxiety. Even when you are happy, you are worried. Even when you are together, you are afraid of separation. Even when you are healthy, you are afraid of sickness. The Buddha taught that whatever is born will die. Whatever is gathered will be separated. Whatever rises will fall. This sounds sad, but it is also freeing. Because once you accept it, you love without panic. You appreciate without clinging. You do not take people for granted. You apologize faster. You say thank you more. You waste less time in pride. This is fulfillment. Now, let us talk about mindfulness of death, because it is one of the Buddha's strongest medicines for a shallow life. Mindfulness of death is not to frighten you, it is to wake you. When you remember that life is fragile, you stop wasting time on comparison. You stop wasting time on gossip. You stop wasting time on proving. You become more careful with your words. You become more generous. You become more present. A fulfilled life is not postponed. It is lived. So do not postpone your kindness. Do not postpone your practice. Do not postpone your apology. Do not postpone your gratitude. Now a short reflection. If you had 1 year left, what would you stop doing? What would you stop chasing? What would you stop pretending? And what would you begin? Often the answer reveals what truly matters. Now we add another deep teaching that protects fulfillment. The 2 arrows. The first arrow is the pain of life. The second arrow is the suffering we add. The second arrow is self-hatred, catastrophe thinking, endless replay, revenge fantasies, rigid expectations. A fulfilled life is largely a life with fewer second arrows. So practice this. When pain happens, ask 3 questions. What is happening in my body right now? What story is my mind adding? What is one wise step I can take next? This practice turns pain into direction. Now, we will add a story. A woman received unfair criticism at work. The first arrow was the criticism. The second arrow started immediately. She replayed the conversation all night. She imagined arguments. She lost sleep. She became sick with stress. Then she remembered a teaching. I cannot remove the first arrow today, but I can stop shooting the second. She wrote down the facts. Then she wrote down the story. Then she planned one wise step for the next day. A calm conversation. Clear boundaries, a request for feedback. The next day, the situation was still imperfect, but her mind was no longer burning. She could act with dignity. The lesson is simple. You do not control what people say. You control how much you keep it inside your nervous system. You control whether you turn one event into a whole identity. This is fulfillment. Now we should also speak about simple living. The Buddha did not condemn wealth. He condemned attachment. So you can live in the world, have a job, have a family, have responsibilities, and still be free. How? By living simply in the mind, not worshiping possessions, not making your identity a lifestyle, not chasing status to prove worth. Now, a story about simplicity. A man visited a monastery and saw monks living with few possessions. He asked, "Are you not missing life?" A monk smiled and said, "We are not missing life. we are meeting it directly. We do not chase 10,000 things. We watch the breath. We eat with gratitude. We serve. We sleep. We practice. The man realized his own life was full of noise. He returned home and simplified. He reduced clutter. He reduced unnecessary spending. He reduced toxic friendships. He reduced mindless scrolling. His mind became clearer. He felt more fulfilled. The lesson is that fullness often comes from less, not more. Now, we will offer a longer guided practice, because a long Dharma talk should not only explain, it should also let the listener rest. If you can, sit comfortably. Let your shoulders drop. Let your face soften. Bring attention to the breath. In breath, knowing. Out breath, releasing. Now, ask yourself gently, what am I carrying that is not necessary? Maybe it is a grudge. Maybe it is a fear. Maybe it is an image. Maybe it is the need to impress. Maybe it is the need to be right. Maybe it is the need to control. On the out-breath, let it soften a little. Now ask, what is one thing I am grateful for right now? Not big, small. A breath, a safe place to sit, a moment of quiet. Let gratitude warm the heart. Now ask, what is one wholesome seed I can plant today? One kind message, one honest task, one apology, one act of generosity, one moment of mindfulness. Hold that seed in your mind like a small lamp. Then return to breath. This is a fulfilled moment, not because life is perfect, because the heart is aligned. Now, let us speak about a very modern problem. Many people chase fulfillment through stimulation. More videos, more shopping, more entertainment, more scrolling. But stimulation is not fulfillment. It is temporary distraction. And after distraction ends, emptiness returns. So if you want a fulfilled life, you must train the mind to be comfortable with quiet, comfortable with slow, comfortable with ordinary, because ordinary is where life actually happens. Not in highlights, in daily moments. So practice being present in daily moments, washing dishes, walking, eating, listening, breathing. This is where peace grows. Now, let us talk about being enough. Many people confuse having enough with being enough. They think, if I have enough, then I will be enough. But the Buddha's teaching suggests something deeper. You can be enough now. Not in the sense that you stop growing, in the sense that you stop hating yourself, in the sense that you stop postponing your dignity. So begin with self-compassion. Self-compassion is not indulgence. Self-compassion is the wise way to train a wounded heart. Speak to yourself like you would speak to someone you love. This is also Dharma. Now, another story. A young man chased perfection. He judged himself constantly. He said, I am not enough. He achieved goals but never felt satisfied. Then he began practicing a small habit. Each night, he wrote 2 lines. Today I tried. Today I learned. Over time, his harsh inner voice softened. He still worked hard, but he worked with peace. The lesson is that fulfillment is not the end of effort. It is the end of self-attack. Now, we speak about wise friends. The Buddha praised spiritual friendship because your environment shapes your mind. If you live among people who only chase status, you will feel restless. If you live among people who practice kindness, you will feel calmer. So choose wise friends. Choose contentment. Choose simplicity. And if you cannot change your environment, change your inner environment. Feed the mind with wholesome teachings, with meditation, with gratitude, with service. This is how you create conditions for fulfillment. Before we go into a longer practice plan, let us slow down and look at fulfillment through the most ordinary scenes of life. Because if fulfillment is real, it must survive ordinary days. It must survive traffic. It must survive tired evenings. It must survive bills. It must survive sickness. It must survive misunderstanding. It must survive disappointment. It must survive aging. It must survive change. So let us explore how the Buddha's definition of fulfillment shows up in the places where people actually live. In your home, in your work, in your body, in your relationships, in your solitude, in your losses, in your small daily choices. First, fulfillment in family life. Many people think family fulfillment means everyone gets along all the time. But anyone who has lived in a family knows the truth. A family is a place where old wounds are triggered, where expectations appear, where roles create tension, where love meets fatigue. So the Buddha's fulfillment in family life is not perfect harmony. It is right speech, right intention, and quick repair. It is the ability to protect love from ego. A home becomes heavy when people are always trying to be right. A home becomes light when people are willing to be kind. So here is a simple question you can use tonight. When I speak to my family, am I speaking to win or am I speaking to connect? Winning an argument can feel powerful for a moment, but it often costs peace. The Buddha's power is different. The Buddha's power is the power of non-harming. Non-harming in family life looks like this. Lowering your voice when your child is loud. Pausing before answering when you feel disrespected. Choosing one gentle sentence instead of 10 sharp ones. Apologizing when you fail. Forgiving when the other fails. Remembering that everyone in the home has fears and hopes. Now, a story. A father loved his child, but he was constantly stressed. Work pressure followed him home. When the child made a small mistake, his voice became harsh. Afterward, he felt guilt, but the habit continued. One night, he heard a teaching. Do not wait for peace to come from outside. Plant peace with your own speech. So he made one vow. Before I speak to my child, I will breathe once. Just one breath. At first it sounded too small, but that one breath changed his tone, and his tone changed the child's fear, and the child's fear changed the child's behavior, and the home became calmer. The lesson is simple. Fulfillment is not found in big moments only. Fulfillment is built in small pauses. Now, fulfillment in marriage. Many people think a fulfilled marriage means constant romance and no conflict. But long love has storms. So the Buddha's fulfillment in marriage is not the absence of conflict. It is the presence of wise conflict. It is the ability to disagree without cruelty. It is the ability to repair without pride. It is the ability to protect dignity. It is the ability to live with the truth that one day you will separate. So you do not waste today in petty coldness. One day, you will wish you could hear that voice again. One day, you will wish you could hold that hand again. So let impermanence teach tenderness. Now, a story. A couple argued about small things: tone, timing, money, housework. They thought the problem was the topic, but the real problem was the nervous system. They were tired. They were overstimulated. They were not resting. They were not appreciating each other. So they changed conditions. Phone-free dinner, 10 minutes of talking each night, one appreciation each day, one apology within 24 hours. Nothing magical, but their home became warmer. The lesson is that love is not only a feeling. Love is a practice, and practice creates feeling. Now, fulfillment in work. Many people think fulfillment means a job that is always exciting and always successful.
But work is also impermanent. Businesses change, markets change, technology changes, people change, your role changes. So the Buddha's fulfillment in work is not worshiping work. It is right livelihood. It is honesty. It is contribution. It is meaning. If you earn money through deception, you may gain wealth, but you lose peace. If you earn money through harm, you may gain status, but you carry fear. If you earn money with integrity, you build a stable mind. A stable mind is a treasure. Now a story. A man wanted quick money. He learned a method to manipulate others. He became rich, but he could not sleep. His mind was full of paranoia. He feared being exposed. He feared losing everything. Later, he met someone who lived simply and slept peacefully. He asked, "How are you so calm?" The person said, "Because my money does not argue with my conscience." The man realized something. Fulfillment is when your life and your values are not fighting each other. So if you want fulfillment in work, ask, does my work reduce suffering or increase it? Does my work build trust or destroy it? Does my work make my heart cleaner or more restless? If the answers are painful, do not shame yourself. Use the pain as a teacher. Adjust. Change conditions. Learn new skills. Shift your direction. This is the Dharma of livelihood. Now, fulfillment in money. Money is useful. Money can protect. Money can support family. Money can allow generosity. But money cannot guarantee peace. Many people have money and still feel empty. Many people have money and still feel fearful. Many people have money and still feel lonely. Because money cannot solve craving. Only training solves craving. So the Buddha taught contentment and generosity. Contentment prevents endless hunger. Generosity prevents the heart from shrinking. Here is a practice for money that leads to fulfillment. Each time you receive money, breathe once and say inwardly, "This is a condition, not a self." Then decide a small portion for generosity, even tiny. A cup of tea for someone, a donation, help for parents, support for a friend. This keeps the heart open. Now, a story. A woman was anxious about money, even though she had enough. She stored and stored, but fear remained. Then she started a tiny generosity practice. She helped one person each week in a small way. She donated a small amount regularly. Her anxiety softened. Not because she became richer, because her relationship to money changed. She stopped treating money as the only safety. She began treating kindness as safety. The lesson is that generosity is a kind of wealth. Now, fulfillment in the body. The body is impermanent. No one escapes aging. No one escapes sickness. No one escapes death. This is not a curse. It is nature. But many people fight this truth. They cling to youth. They cling to strength. They cling to beauty. They cling to control. And because they cling, they suffer. A fulfilled life is a life that respects the body without worshiping the body. You care for it. You feed it well. You sleep. You move. You rest. You see doctors when needed. You protect health. But you also accept that the body changes. When you accept, you stop panicking. And when you stop panicking, you care more wisely. Now a story. A person became ill and their identity collapsed. They said, "Without my health, I am nothing." Then they learned a teaching. Your worth is not your health. Your worth is not your productivity. Your worth is not your appearance. Your worth is the quality of your heart. So while sick, they practiced kindness. They practiced patience. They practiced gratitude for small things. They practiced not adding the second arrow. The illness did not become pleasant, but the mind became freer. The lesson is that fulfillment is possible even in limitation. Now, fulfillment in loneliness. Some people fear being alone. They think being alone means they are unlovable. They rush into relationships. They tolerate harm. They cling. The Buddha taught a different strength. The strength to be with yourself without hatred. A fulfilled life includes the ability to sit quietly without needing constant distraction. This is not isolation. This is inner refuge. Now, a story. A woman lived alone after a breakup. She felt empty. She scrolled all night. She called people just to avoid silence. Then she began to practice one thing. 10 minutes of sitting with breath each day. Not to become special, to become present. Slowly, she discovered she could survive silence. Then she discovered silence could be gentle. Then she discovered she could hear her own heart again. The lesson is that solitude can be a teacher. It can either become a prison, or it can become a monastery in your home. The difference is practice. Now, fulfillment in loss. Loss will come. It may come as the end of a relationship, the loss of a job, the loss of health, the loss of a loved one, the loss of youth, the loss of a dream. A fulfilled life is not a life without loss. A fulfilled life is a life that knows how to grieve and continue. The Buddha's path does not deny grief. It teaches you to hold grief without drowning. It teaches you to keep your heart kind. Now, here is a practice for loss. When loss happens, allow one honest sentence. This hurts. Then allow one wise sentence. This is impermanent. Then allow one compassionate sentence. May I be gentle with myself. Then allow one practical sentence. What is one step I can take today? This sequence keeps the heart human and wise.
Now we must speak about one more teaching that transforms fulfillment: the practice of relinquishment. Relinquishment is not self-punishment. It is the joy of releasing what you do not need. Many people are exhausted because they carry too much, too many things, too many commitments, too many conversations, too many opinions, too many fights. Relinquishment says, I can put this down. I can stop proving. I can stop performing. I can stop collecting. I can stop chasing. This is a deep peace. Now, a story. A man was always busy. He said yes to everything. He wanted to be seen as important. He became exhausted and resentful. Then he learned a practice. Before saying yes, pause and ask, will this increase peace or decrease peace? He began saying no, not with anger, with clarity. His life became simpler. His mind became cleaner. He felt more fulfilled. The lesson is that sometimes the path to fullness is subtraction. Now we will do another guided practice, because these teachings must touch the nervous system, not only the mind. If you can, take a slow breath. Imagine you are holding a cup. This cup is your life energy. Now imagine each craving is a hole in the cup. Craving for approval. Craving for more. Craving to be right. Craving to control. Craving to impress. You pour energy in, but it leaks. Now imagine you patch one small hole today. Choose one craving to soften. Maybe approval, maybe comparison, maybe control. Now for one day, practice noticing it and releasing it. Notice the urge to check how people see you. Then breathe and return. Notice the urge to compare. Then breathe and return. Notice the urge to control. Then breathe and return. When you patch even one hole, your energy stays. And when your energy stays, peace grows. This is fulfillment. Now let us speak about a common misunderstanding. Some people hear these teachings and think fulfillment means being passive. No, the Buddha taught effort, but he taught effort without craving, effort with wisdom, effort with compassion. Here is the difference. Craving says, I must win to be worthy. Wisdom says, I will do what is wholesome and accept what I cannot control. Craving says, I cannot fail. Wisdom says, failure is feedback. Craving says, I must have it all. Wisdom says, I will prioritize what matters. This is the middle way. Now, let us speak about what fulfillment looks like at the end of life, because that is the clearest test. At the end, most people do not regret that they did not buy more. They regret that they were not present. They regret that they were harsh. They regret that they waited too long to say sorry. They regret that they chased image instead of heart. So fulfillment is living in a way that you will not regret in old age. Here is a simple nightly reflection, very Buddhist in spirit. At the end of the day, ask 3 questions. Where did I cling today? Where did I let go today? Where did I plant one wholesome seed today? Do not judge, just learn. Then tomorrow, choose one small improvement. This is how a fulfilled life is built. Now, let us offer one more story that ties this together. A woman cared for her parents for years. Friends traveled and celebrated. She sometimes felt she was missing life. Then one day, her father held her hand and said, "Thank you." She realized something. Her life was not glamorous, but it was meaningful. It reduced suffering. It created merit. It grew compassion. When her parents passed, she grieved, but she had no deep regret. The lesson is that fulfillment is not always loud. Often it is quiet. It is the quiet peace of knowing you lived with love. Now we can return to a longer practice plan with a deeper foundation. Now we will offer a 30-day practice for a more fulfilled life. Week 1. Reduce comparison. 1 hour a day without social media. Use that hour for slow life. Walking, cooking, reading, talking with someone you love, sitting quietly. Week 2. Practice gratitude. 3 blessings each night. Write them down. Make it simple. Week 3. Practice generosity. 1 small act a day. Give time. Give attention. Give help. Give a small donation. Give forgiveness. Week 4. Practice mindfulness. 10 minutes a day of breathing and noticing thoughts. If you do this for 30 days, your outer life may not change dramatically, but your inner life will. And inner life is the core of fulfillment. Before we move toward the final closing, let us add a few deeper reflections the Buddha encouraged people to remember often. These reflections are not meant to make you sad. They are meant to make you sane. They cut through fantasy. They bring the mind back to what matters. They bring the heart back to tenderness. One reflection is aging. You will grow older. This is not a tragedy. It is the natural unfolding of life. But many people live as if aging is an insult. They fight it with panic. They compare. They cling. When you accept aging, you stop wasting energy. You stop trying to impress strangers. You stop chasing approval like oxygen. You begin to care more about character than appearance. Aging can become a doorway to fulfillment because it reveals what is real. Another reflection is sickness. You may become ill. This is not punishment. It is part of human life. When you accept this, you take care of health with wisdom rather than fear. You sleep more. You eat more simply. You reduce stress. You stop thinking your body is a machine. And you also stop using health as a reason to judge others. Because you realize suffering can visit anyone. Another reflection is death. You will die. Again, not to frighten you, to wake you. Death makes your priorities clear. It shows you that most arguments are small. Most pride is unnecessary. Most comparison is a waste of life. When you remember death gently, you become kinder faster. You apologize faster. You forgive faster. You say thank you faster. This is fulfillment. Another reflection is separation. Everything you love will change. People will leave, or you will leave. Possessions will break or be lost. Roles will end. Homes will change. Seasons will change. When you accept separation, you love more wisely. You do not cling like a fist. You love like an open hand. Open hand love is softer. It is more stable. It is less fearful. It is closer to the Buddha's compassion. Another reflection is responsibility for actions. Your actions are your true property. Not your money, not your title, not your follower count, not your image. Your actions follow you. Your speech shapes your mind. Your habits shape your future. Your kindness shapes your peace. So fulfillment is not something you wait for. It is something you build through action, day by day. Now, if these reflections feel heavy, notice this. The Buddha offered them as medicine, because without them, people sleepwalk. They postpone life. They postpone love. They postpone practice. And then, one day, a storm arrives, and they wake up too late. So use these reflections not as fear, but as a bell that says, live now. Now, let us add a teaching that protects you from a very common trap. The trap of endless why. When pain happens, the mind wants to ask 1,000 questions. Why me? Why now? Why them? Why did life do this? Some questions can be useful, but many why questions are not searching for wisdom. They are searching for control. The Buddha told a story about a person wounded by an arrow. Instead of removing the arrow, the person demanded to know every detail. Who shot it? What wood is it made of? Where did it come from? What kind of feathers? But while they asked, they bled. The Buddha's point was simple. Some questions delay healing. So a fulfilled life is a life that knows when to stop asking unhelpful questions and start practicing a helpful step. When pain arrives, remove the arrow. Breathe. Seek support. Rest. Repair. Set boundaries. Make a plan. Begin again. This is Dharma in action. Now we must speak about joy, because some people misunderstand Buddhism and think a fulfilled life is a life with no joy. The Buddha did not teach joylessness. He taught freedom from clinging. A fulfilled life includes joy, but it is a clean joy, not addicted, not desperate, not harmful. Clean joy is the joy of a calm mind, the joy of generosity, the joy of integrity, the joy of connection, the joy of nature, the joy of simple living. Have you noticed how a mind that is always chasing cannot enjoy? Even pleasure becomes stressful because the mind is already thinking about what comes next. But a mindful mind can enjoy 1 cup of tea fully. That is wealth. Now, let us do a short practice of clean joy. If you can, bring to mind 1 simple joy you had recently. A warm drink, a laugh, a quiet morning, a kind message, a breeze, a good meal, a moment of silence. Now, notice how the mind wants to rush. It wants to grab and hold. Instead, practice this. Say inwardly, "Thank you. This is precious, and it will change." Then let the joy pass through, like light through a window. This is enjoyment without clinging. This is fulfilled living. Now, let us speak about a difficult part of fulfillment: regret. Many people cannot feel fulfilled because they are haunted by regret. They replay the past. They punish themselves. They imagine a different life. They say, "If only." The Buddha did not teach you to live in if only. He taught you to live in now. But he also did not teach denial. He taught wise remorse. Wise remorse says, "I see what was unskillful. I will learn. I will repair if possible. And I will not continue harming myself with endless self-attack." So if you carry regret, here is a practice. Name the regret. Learn the lesson. Make one repair if you can. Then plant one new seed today. Regret becomes a teacher when it points you toward wiser action. Regret becomes poison when you turn it into identity. Now a story. A man regretted how he treated his mother when she was alive. After she passed, he was crushed. He could not change the past, but he could change what grew from the past. So he began to honor her by changing his speech. He became more patient with family. He helped elders in his community. He donated in her memory. His regret softened into gratitude and service. The lesson is that you cannot always fix what happened, but you can transform what happens next. This is fulfillment. Now, let us offer a longer guided meditation to let the heart absorb these teachings. Sit comfortably. Feel your body. Feel the breath. Now imagine your life as a long road. Along the road are many seasons. Some seasons are bright. Some seasons are muddy. Some seasons are quiet. Now imagine you are walking this road with a small lamp. The lamp is awareness. You cannot control every storm on the road, but you can carry the lamp. Now notice a place where you have been clinging. Maybe to an image, maybe to control, maybe to a relationship, maybe to approval, maybe to money, maybe to being right. Do not shame yourself. Just notice. Now breathe out and say inwardly, I can soften. Now notice a place where you have been resisting. Resisting grief, resisting change, resisting aging, resisting truth. Now breathe out and say inwardly, I can allow. Now notice one wholesome seed you can plant today. One kind sentence, one honest act, one apology, one act of generosity, one moment of mindfulness, one boundary that protects peace. Now breathe in and say inwardly, I will plant. Now breathe out and say inwardly, and I will release. Rest in that for a few breaths. Plant and release. Plant and release. This is the rhythm of a fulfilled life. Now, if these words are giving you even a little peace, you can gently support Buddha Peaceful Mind by liking or subscribing. It helps these reminders reach more hearts that need calm, especially those who feel lost in the chase. Now we are ready to close with a deeper understanding of what fulfillment truly is. Now, if you know someone who is stuck chasing perfection, you can share this talk with them. Sometimes one teaching can save someone from years of exhaustion. And if you want more long, gentle Dharma talks like this, subscribing to Buddha Peaceful Mind helps these teachings reach more hearts that need calm. Before we answer the question one last time, let us speak about one more hidden element of fulfillment: forgiveness and reconciliation. Not everyone will be able to reconcile. Some relationships are unsafe. Some people refuse accountability. Some situations require distance. But forgiveness as release is still powerful. Because resentment is a heavy suitcase. It steals energy. It keeps the nervous system tense. It turns the mind into a courtroom where the case never ends. The Buddha taught that hatred does not end hatred. Hatred ends through non-hatred. This does not mean you become weak. It means you refuse to let poison live in your heart.
So if you want a more fulfilled life, practice releasing resentment in small doses. Not fake forgiveness, not spiritual performance. Real release. 1 breath of release. 1 hour without replay. 1 day without feeding the story. 1 boundary that protects you. 1 kind act that proves you are not becoming bitter. Now, a story. A man was betrayed by a friend. He held anger for years. He told the story again and again. Each retelling reopened the wound. One day he realized something. The friend was gone, but the betrayal was still living in his nervous system. So he began a practice. He stopped retelling the story for entertainment. He told it only when seeking help or learning. He wrote down what he learned about boundaries. He practiced forgiveness not as excuse, but as release. He still kept distance, but his heart became lighter. The lesson is that you can protect yourself and still be free inside. Now let us speak about another hidden element. Appreciation while things are still here. Many people become fulfilled only in regret. When someone dies, they suddenly appreciate. When health is lost, they suddenly appreciate. When time is gone, they suddenly appreciate. The Buddha's teaching invites a different kind of wisdom. Appreciate now. Appreciate your parents while they can still hear your voice. Appreciate your children while they still want to hold your hand. Appreciate your spouse while their face is still here. Appreciate your body while it still carries you. Appreciate your mind when it is calm, even for 1 minute. This is not sentimental. This is training. Because appreciation protects you from arrogance, and it protects you from taking life for granted. Now, we will offer 1 simple 7-day practice that many listeners find easy. Day 1. Practice 1 mindful meal. Eat slowly. Taste. Be grateful. Day 2. Practice 1 apology. If needed, repair 1 small thing. If not needed, apologize to yourself for being too harsh. Day 3. Practice 1 act of generosity. Small, quiet, real. Day 4. Practice 1 hour of silence. Less talking, less scrolling, more breathing. Day 5. Practice 1 session of forgiveness. Release 1 small resentment. Not the biggest, just 1 small stone. Day 6. Practice 1 act of courage. Do 1 thing you have been avoiding that would reduce suffering. A phone call, a doctor appointment, a budget conversation, a boundary. Day 7. Practice a simple reflection. Where did I cling this week? Where did I let go? What seed did I plant? If you do this 7-day practice, your life may look the same outside, but your mind will start to feel different inside. And that difference is the beginning of fulfillment. Now, take a slow breath. Feel that you are alive. This is already a miracle worth honoring. Now we can return to the original question with a heart that understands more deeply. Now, we return to the original question. What is a truly fulfilled life? Here is a Buddhist answer, in simple words. A fulfilled life is not a life with no loss. It is a life with less clinging. A fulfilled life is not a life with everything. It is a life with enoughness. A fulfilled life is not a life with constant success. It is a life with integrity. A fulfilled life is not a life that never breaks. It is a life that repairs. A fulfilled life is not a life free from pain. It is a life free from unnecessary suffering. A fulfilled life is a life that can receive and release. A life that plants wholesome seeds and holds outcomes lightly. A life that is grateful for what is here. A life that is honest about what changes. A life that keeps the heart kind. A life that becomes freer from clinging. This is the Buddha's fulfillment. Not the fullness of possession, the fullness of peace. So wherever you are right now, take one breath. Feel the ground of the present. And remember, you do not need a perfect life to be fulfilled. You need a steady heart, and you can train that heart starting today. May you be content without laziness. May you be ambitious without desperation. May you love without clinging. May you grieve without bitterness. May you live with integrity. May your heart be light in all seasons. May all beings be safe. May all beings be well. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free.